Hello, hello, and here's a new deck, a new old deck. It's old, not a new deck. This is one of the first, if not the first edition, or not edition, but set tarot decks that U.S. Game Systems put out, and I found it that they're not hard to find, but I specifically wanted the one with the gold cutout. There's another one that has a flip box, a tuck box. This one has a, I like the way this one is put together, so this was my preference for this deck. It has a price tag on it, but when I opened it up, look, it popped off, which means this deck was kind of talking to me. It has a price of $5 on it. I thought that was kind of cool, and it just popped right off, and I'm like, okay, it's talking to me. So this is Tarot Classic. So it's a drawn Marseille deck, and I don't have anything like it in my collection. And it's instructions are by Kaplan. And this edition is made in Switzerland, especially for U.S. Game Systems Inc., New York, New York. I love this font. It's funky. And here it says up at the top, TC78 Tarot Deck, Mueller and C, Switzerland, Neuhausen and Rheinfall. And with a lot of the decks, TC, so that's Tarot Classic 78, which is 78 cards. So this, it slides off. It is a cardboard sleeve with the cutout, which I thought was nice, and a really sturdy, I mean, this is a decent blue box. I love it, which is one of the reasons why it really caught my eye. So it has this keystone shaped cutout, sturdy box, and the instructions are stapled with like these brass staples with a green cover over this. This is also available from your local dealer. Tarot Classic, it's called Significance, Methods, and Spread and Use in Fortune Telling. I have a copy of it. Where's my copy at? Let's pull it. Here it is. This is Tarot Classic. This is, I believe there are 2 editions of this. There's this one, and then there's like a special edition which has like a gold sticker on the front of the magician's face. This one, I think I've shown it before, but this one has a Walt Disney World sticker for $4. I thought that's kind of cool. I love that sort of where it was bought, and the fact that they sold this. So this is the Stuart Kaplan. This is a Grosset and Dunlap from 1972, published simultaneously in Canada. The card designs are from Tarot Classic, which are reproduced by the permission of Mueller and C, Switzerland, which is this deck. So this is like a little short, condensed, little white booklet. But the staples are nice, and the green, lovely green cardstock is nice. It says printed in USA. There. So this deck comes with 2 blank cards. The reverse is a red and gold. You can see the gold, it kind of picks up. So red and gold picote, I think that's what it's called. Sort of a plaid. So you could use these as significator cards or something else. I mean, it's rather... you can see the shine on these. They feel like regular cards. Nothing, nothing, no errors. They do glide quite nicely. And the back is the same. I put these in order. So these are I believe Kaplan did the artwork for these. So these look like nothing no other deck has this. I don't know why they haven't reproduced this. I love the redrawn cards. The colors are very nice. Kind of looks like a marker, or maybe a watercolor or a gouache. But I'm not sure. But I love the colors are very, very, very different. So let's look at them. It gives it its own unique, lovely, lovely aspect. So we have the Fool here, typical Fool, upturned face, little dog, the Magician, tools of the trade, three-legged table, infinity hat, High Priestess, with the book open, the Empress. So you can see redone artwork from a Marseille. Yeah, just really surprisingly original take. Emperor, the green, and that strange scepter. The Hierophant, not the Pope. But here we have three. And these don't look like people. They look like just shapes. No monks. The Psalter, that cut out part. That looks like an Indian doll. Was it the ones that look like space people? Navajo Kachina dolls, I think. The Lovers. Here we have that wavy pattern. The crone giving away the maiden. She has his heart. She has her hand on his stomach. Cupid has a crown on his rear end. Chariot, there's nothing there. Look at this strange wheel there. Two horses. But yeah, this one's just a spindly wheel. That one's more fleshed out. Justice, staring right at us. So this one was published in 71, I believe. Yes, there it is, copyright 71. So this is 71. So these colors do reflect a very 70s vibe. The yellows, the blues. And I do feel that the coloring is reflective of what was popular and in vogue, advertisements, packaging, things like that. The consumer aesthetic, I think. Here we have the Hermit, the Capuchin, golden robes, kind of a younger hermit, no white beard, you know. Wheel of Fortune. Strength, that does not look like a lion. That looks like some sort of demon. Look at those teeth. The green garment. The Hangman, he has sort of a Mephistopheles look. Pockets turned out. There's like a gallows feel to this. Very point, even the little parts of the jacket are pointy, like the goatee, the hair, the toes. This one was curious to me. Death looks very strange, but also death is written on the side. Typical Marseille, there's no title, no death. No, Mort. La Mort. So here we just see death there, just right there. Probably to make it easier to read. It is a very dramatic card if you make it such. Got the hands, got a foot, some bones, two severed heads with bandanas on their heads, like, wrapped. Temperance. Two jugs. Devil. It's a strange devil card. It does look very... The imps look very impish. Not a very threatening devil. He's staring right at you. It really does look like Edward Gorey drew this. It looks very Edward Gorey. Masterpiece Theater, the intro with the woman fainting and all. Especially with the line work. The Tower. Crazy crown looking, which does imitate. I believe those patterns, those lines of patterns, will reflect in the garments of the court cards as well as the major arcana. There's a little bird it's got an eye there. So we have 7, 8 stars, one big, 2 different urns. I think I have a coworker that looks like that. She comes in looking like that, just tired. Moon card. This is probably the most colorful, simplistic drawing of a moon card. Bright, almost garish colors. Red crayfish, blue water, yellow dogs, yellow moon, blue moondrops, green verdant hills. It's a nice card. I like it. I'll judge a deck by its moon card. Just give me a moon card, I'll tell you if it's a good deck or not. This is a good deck. This one, the face of the sun is very fleshed out. It's got hair. It's got a collar. Looks like it's been wearing sunglasses in the sun. It's got like raccoon eyes. And we have the Romulus and Remus twin figures with the wall. Judgment. Here we have a butt right in our faces. The angel Michael trumpeting down. Blonde, beautiful blonde white people popping out of the graves. Yeah, blonde people, pale skin. And then we have the world. I was doing research, just my usual journaling about the elements here and the Gospels, and I'll make a video about that at some point. But it's always hard to remember what element goes with what. Here we have sort of a cyclops, cow, or bull, angel, eagle, lion. Okay. So, mini break. When I got this, it was all, you could tell it had been used. It doesn't look like it's been used much at all. With the edges, they're nice and clean. There were reversals in there. It was very well shuffled. So, when I got it, I put it in order. These cards were also mixed up in there, which was interesting. So I was wondering who used it, when it was used, all those good things. When I opened it, when I got the package, it was very well packed up. It had a really nice feel to it. It felt lived in, but like not, like it was very accepting of me. This deck was very accepting. With the price tag just popping right off, it kind of knew I don't want a price tag on my decks, even though I do, I wouldn't mind it if it didn't come off, but it just popped right off. And it had been sitting there the whole time waiting for me. So it's a special deck to me. I do already really like this deck. The other thing is, I was interested in Kaplan, Stuart Kaplan's, what did he start US game systems with? So I did a little bit of research. Turns out he did cards. He didn't just do tarot. He did cards, playing cards. I really haven't seen too many out there. But this Tarot Classic and the Swiss 1JJ Tarot were the two first ones. Later on, he got the rights from Waite's daughter and the originals to publish the Rider-Waite Smith deck. So these two, this one and I did order I have the Swiss 1JJ kit that he sold. So it came with a book and it came with the cards and a little lay sheet, like you spray it out. Like it's all about teaching, because he was very much about the tarot and you know, making people interested in it. But really, it was only when the Rider-Waite popped out did I think U.S. Games really just took off. I mean, the Rider-Waite is the most best-selling tarot deck. So this was the first one he came up with, and you can see, since it was no one really has the rights to the Marseille imagery because it's been used, you know, it's out of copyright. He drew his own, colored it in, and that's what he, you know, one of the games that he started with. So 71, he published this, and I think a little bit around the same time, a little bit later, the Swiss 1JJ, and these were printed in Switzerland, not printed in the U.S., but they were made for, like on the bottom it says, made in Switzerland expressly for U.S. Game Systems Inc., but yet the manufacturer is Mueller and C. So anyway, there we go. And I've shown you my blocks, my tarot blocks, which are using the Swiss 1JJ symbols and all. I will show that when I show the kit, and I'll show everything together maybe, because it's interesting to see the beginning of the U.S. Game Systems, and you know, they're still going, you know, selling decks and having new decks and all, so they're still there. Okay, so here's batons. Green, flowers, and of course this is Marseille, so we got pips. Batons. Batons are green. Very clean. Some of these, I believe, yes. Not all of these, but most of these have so you see 4 there, but you know, if it's upside down, this is at the bottom. So the 4 marks there are at the bottom, and you can tell that that's supposed to be the bottom because there's the V for 5. Oop, this one's upside down. So it's upside down because that should be at the bottom. So it really does help you with seeing if the card's reversed. He thought that out, which I think is pretty cool. 8. 9 does not have that indication there. So really it could be any, but 10 does. So again, not all the cards have it, but most of them do. Beautiful. I love those brackets there. Here's the Page of Wands. Notice that pattern that was in the Tower in these court cards. This is the one with the weird arms, weird garment piece there. Knight of Wands. Horse looks like he's seen a few things. Queen of Wands. Takes up almost the whole card. And what the heck is that thing there? Looks like something's unraveling, or first it looks like someone drew something, but they didn't. What is that? And this is a fancy king. Little blonde curls. This baton. Now we have the the ace card or the one of pentacles or coins. This one says AS there. That could be the artist. I'm not certain that Kaplan did the artwork for these. I don't know, but AS is there. This says Fabrique de Cartes Schaffhaus. So this is following the typical, when you Marseille, they put on the twos, usually the house where it was made, manufactured. 3. So 3's at the bottom there. I do not have 4, but I believe since you see the M there, these beautiful stars, and it's very ornate. It reminds me of a Nabi, of a Vachetta deck. Again, this one does not have a Roman numerals, but this one does. So I don't know why some were left off and some weren't. It looks like they had room to put them. These beautiful flowers, the 8, the 9, and then 10. I really like the little small mark there. You can, if you're looking at it, some people, you want to like count, like, oh, is that really 10? No, well, it tells you. Page of Pentacles. He has no neck. Floating one? Kind of yarn. The floating one, yellow horse, weird eyes. But he has a baton. Forehead Queen, she's the Queen of Pentacles. King, he's the one in the chair, his legs crossed. He's all in blue. This one is huge. This is the cup, the Ace of Cups. Big cup, big. It reminds me of like a balloon, like a hot air balloon. It's covered. And all the cups are covered in this deck. See, we have the 2 with the dolphins. There's a heart, there's trumpets. There's 3. And I guess because these are upright, that he didn't mark which ones, like there's no I for 4. No V for 5. 6. 7. 8. Beautiful flower there. 9. Look at the fancy acanthus work. And 10, we have the cup over top of them, which is typical Marseille. And since these are covered, the top is covered on that one as well. No geometric bases, though they're all round. Here we have a geometric base. Covered cup. Covered cup, it looks like a big old Fabergé Easter egg. It's got a spur there. Queen with her canopy, holding the base, choking the mess out of that cup. King, he's pretty fancy. I love that, those colors mixed up. Isn't that crazy? Pink and the green and the black and geometric base. Then we have the last suit. Swords. Olive in the palm. Palm and olive. Palm olive. Here we have 2 down there, so this one is, again, not all of them are like that, but there's 2 there, so you know it's that's the bottom. Three, 4, You have the V there on either side for 5, 6. Oh, and there's 6 there. 7. Nope. 8. I think it's because the sword facing down, you know, that's upright. Here we don't have one, so we have 8 there. And with 9, and the sword's facing down, we know it's upright. Because he was very much into what a reversal was, because it really did expand the game, or the game of tarot fortune telling. If you have a reversal, it adds a nuance to everything. Some people say it's the opposite. It's more of a nuanced alternative, I think, would be appropriate. And the 10 there. Page of Swords. Whenever you see that little chevron, it usually means ermine. That was typical for royalty, the ermine, the creature. So those ermine capes, the white capes with the black, like, pieces in them, was usually ermine, and that's usually how it's depicted in cards. So that would have been a fur. Look at that epaulette, or pauldron for the shoulder piece. Queen, who's almost looks like she's holding a note. And those look like eyes or bees in her little, I think they're flowers, but they look like bees to me. Resting the sword. Here is the fancy king with the flourish on his throne. He looks like he's very short and thick. Like maybe a stocky 5 foot. He's got his dagger or his scabbard. He's holding the sword completely upright, and the pauldron's there. He's also got polka dots. He's a fancy guy. Anyway, that is the deck. It's beautiful. I love the colors. I think it really is an artifact of its time. Is it usable now? Absolutely. Let's put it back in its little beautiful little box. I love this deck. The cool thing is, if you have a card peeking out, you could have it peeking out of the little window. But I'll just put the book back in there. And then slide this on. And that key cutout lines up with the one on this gold foil sleeve. So there's some wear on it. That's great. It's fine. I like that. I mean, how old is this now? 30, 50, over 55 years old? Yeah, it's over 55 years old. It's hard to believe. I mean, this deck came out the decade I was born, but before I was born. At the birth of disco, the decade of disco. So there we go. There's Tarot Classic by Stuart Kaplan, one of the first decks from US Game, one of the first tarot decks from US Game Systems. And I think I will say goodbye to my little, I don't know, maybe I'll get rid of it. I don't need to keep everything. My little $5, I mean, the tarot deck, it rejected it. So you can see where it was. It popped off, so it maybe it's telling me it needs to get rid of this because this is unnecessary. But it's cool, it only cost $5 when it came out. Now the average tarot deck, if you get a, starts at like cheap $16, but then if you get one with a book kit, it's like $30, but then if you get a special one, or maybe it depends on the publisher, it's $40. Then if you get a special edition signed or whatever, or, it goes up. So really this is the beginning of the Aquarian Age tarot craze. This deck helped usher it in. So it's a cool piece of tarot history. Thank you for watching.